Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest in the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today my guest is Jarad McCarroll. He's co-founder of Ocean Club St. Barths. Jarad, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Adam. Great to be here with you, and excited to spend the next sort of couple minutes sharing some stuff with you.
All right, Jarad. So normally I start with the Mission Matters Minute, but I'm going to break form. I need you to hold up your laptop and I need people to see your backdrop and where we're at in St. Barths because this place is ridiculous. Before we start talking about it, I just want people to see this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. How do I get my podcast studio there? Like, for the people driving in your car that can't, they're like, I can't see what everybody's looking at. I want you to understand. We're looking at this amazing, when I say backdrop, I mean, first off, tell us about the location in St. Barths. Let's go there. You're going to be able to describe it better than myself.
Yeah. So, welcome. I mean, this is the Ocean Club St. Barths. It's, for me, it's one of the most incredible locations I've stumbled across. This is Gustavia, which is the main sort of the heart of St. Barths, and that's where all the action happens. And where we are now is a space which kind of sat empty for a couple of years, and it's situated right above Dolce & Gabbana and Prada, overlooking the harbor. You've got all the mega yachts and the super yachts there, and you know it's definitely, we are 100% blessed to kind of be here. To be able to.
If you didn't catch that, overlooking the mega yachts and the super yachts, and we know Dolce & Gabbana, we know they choose terrible real estate locations, right? So yeah, right. Yeah. So you're in the heart of it all. You are. It's amazing, and if anybody driving in the car wants to see what we're talking about, then check out the YouTube channel and you'll see the video too. But all right, I had to break form on that. I rarely do that, but I want everybody to see where you are at and just to see the location. So now, back on track for the normally scheduled interview. We'll start this interview or continue it the way that we always do with what we call our Mission Matters Minute. So Jarad, at Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories and to get them out there for business owners, entrepreneurs, executives, and experts, stories that we feel need to be heard and need to be seen. So that's our mission. Jarad, what mission matters to you?
So our mission and the Ocean Club St. Barths' mission is to build a world-class hospitality brand. We have this incredible location. We have another location coming, and it's to build a brand of hospitality, which is love and respect, and that finds a place for you to feel comfortable and at home, and really just to elevate people's experiences and offer something unique. So we're blessed, man.
So speaking of brands and speaking of getting the words out, I understand you were just featured on a recent Housewives of New York episode. Like, tell me a little bit about that.
That is definitely not exactly what our brand is about, but it was a lot of fun. It was I had the girls over for a cooking lesson. We prepared some snacks and a few little my croquettes and beef tartare, and then I filleted a fish for them. In front of them, and I got them to do a few things, and then they sat down and enjoyed the beautiful location, enjoyed the view, and had some lunch with us. So it was definitely fun and entertaining, and pretty loud as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's awesome, and I had to bring that up because I heard about it, and I'm like, man, that's fun, and I understand that the location and what you're building. So part of what I want to talk about today with you is, of course, the expansion. Now you're going to be opening up in Ocean Clubs in Montauk as well, right?
Yeah. So our second location will be Ocean Club Montauk, another iconic sort of venue, unbelievable space, and Montauk is pretty beautiful and exclusive in its own right. And I feel like Montauk and St. Barths are two sort of locations which are kind of iconic. The end of New York, and they call it the end of the world. This is a beautiful, intimate, small restaurant. It's about 65 seats. The one in Montauk is about 184. So it's like 3 times the size, with a big open kitchen, big sort of, everything is the same designers, same sort of style, same style of food, with a big open grill. And you'll have a chef's table on the other side where you can sort of interact with the kitchen, and like you said, it's like people want experiences, and they want to see, touch, and feel. And I'm looking to create more than just a meal. but to create an experience and offer something quite unique.
So tell us about really about St. Barths and your vision for Ocean Club there, and how this all came about. Like, how did all this get launched?
Well, sometimes you get lucky. We had this incredible location, and we built it out to kind of be an extension of a yacht or your villa. I mean, if you're in Miami or in New York, you're in all of these places that like you go to these sort of clubs to be sort of exclusive. In St. Bart's, you're kind of at the top of your game and you're part of an exclusive club when you're here already. So like our goal was to elevate the hospitality and elevate the food and service to a standard where it felt like it was almost a tailored service. So like the bar here is completely open, the kitchen is completely open and exposed. There's no sort of walls or barriers between the people that are working and yourself as a guest. And it's really just a space where we can, like I said, it's an unbelievable location. And our goal is to find a service and a style which kind of elevates that and just like pays a tribute to this beautiful location that we have.
Yeah. Had you always was this always part of your vision or roadmap to open up a place there? Or how did you get to that point? Like, was there an aha moment? Was it a conversation over a glass of wine? Like give me the moment, because I find this stuff like very interesting.
So, I mean, I was always looking to open my own space, as anyone who's had this big sort of vision of what I would like to achieve. And I was the executive chef of Hotel 20, which is a small sort of 5-star Real Chateau hotel just on the other side of the island. And I was there for about 4 years. Actually rebranded and redesigned their restaurant, and it was called Jarad 20 for about a year and a half. And then sort of COVID happened and we sort of split ways. And I was searching for something new and something different. And then we stumbled across the space. And we were like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible!" And then I was cooking. I was at that time I was a private chef, trying to just provide for my family and trying to find ways while I was building the next sort of chapter of my life. And I stumbled across somebody who said, "Okay, I like what you're doing, and I think it's an interesting concept, and we'll invest and we'll give you the money." So it was like it happened like this. I just found my partner.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was. Sometimes you get lucky, and it was a great beginning. And St. Bart's, I realize, is very transient. It's very small, and it's tough to get recognized. It takes a while because if you're in New York, there's a huge mass of people. This is an 8-mile long island.
Yeah.
It's a tiny island with like 35 different restaurants on it, like 6, I don't know how many hotels. And everything is really high end and high quality. So we did this little independent sort of restaurant that sort of popped up, and we're like, this is our goals. We're ambitious. We're hungry. We want to create this, we want to do this. And it's like, and then it wasn't as it didn't take off exactly the way that we anticipated. But you realize that building something of quality takes time, and you kind of just have to persevere through the beginning days and start to just build it day by day and make sure that you focus on the product. And then we're offering something that's elevated and delicious and a guest experience that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What keeps you, and what kept you, I should say, as well? And the reason I asked this question, by the way, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, like people that watch this, I mean, I like to say that another name for this podcast could be the Keep It Real podcast, because a lot of entrepreneurs watch this. So I get all the stories and listen to this. So like, what kept you strong, like during that transitionary period of like, what's next in COVID in the middle of all this? Because everybody was going through their own thing. Like, what kept you strong at that time?
I heard this amazing quote. It's like, in order for us to define what success is, we need to have or in order for us to be successful, we need to have a definition of success. And somebody told me once that success is the progressive realization of a dream. So it's like, first of all, we need to have this dream. Now, I've always had a vision of what I want to accomplish. I always sort of been plugged into that dream, and I kind of see it, I feel it. And it's like, if you have this dream and you believe in it, then like the ups and downs are kind of, it's okay, because the down days, you'll have up days, down days, but at the end, you know that you're heading in a direction. I think it's like when people don't have a dream and they don't have a vision, they kind of get lost in the sort of day to day. How do you hit a target that you cannot see? It's kind of impossible to throw something and saying like, I missed it, but there's no target. So I think when you have a dream and you kind of understand that you're working towards this, and you even when it's difficult, if you just continue to take the steps and
Mm.
do the work and believe in that vision, it
Mm.
kind of gets you through. But if you don't know where you're heading, those
Yeah.
dark days can kind of seem harder.
Yeah. Amazing. So I want to jump in around a little bit here. So for everybody watching this, like when I did the warm up call, we always schedule a time for me to talk with guests before we bring them on the show and kind of figure out the content, things like that, and what points we want to hit. And Jarad was explaining to me like the culinary experience, and I don't claim to be. I'm a foodie wannabe. Like I don't always know what I mean. I just like food. I mean, I'm a wannabe. And Jared's explaining like the culinary experience and everything else. And this is how I learn. And so I'm looking at your Instagram, and you're describing like the dishes. Whether I'm probably gonna butcher the names, but I know one looks like an island, one looks like a tree. Like, talk to me about and about all of like what went into that and kind of some of your concepts for this, because it's quite amazing when I checked it out. And by the way, everybody go check out Jared's Instagram as well. Real quick before you answer, Jared, what's your Instagram again? Because I just follow you. I don't remember the handle.
It's at Jarad_McCarroll.
Wonderful. So easy. There you go. Go check this out so that when Jared's also explaining this, you can look at it too, and you're gonna be amazed. So again, go back to like the culinary experience part of this.
First of all, I appreciate that. I mean, for me, being a chef is like sort of an artist, and like as your plate is your canvas. So I have a few signature dishes which I've had for a couple of years and sort of like built them up. I always start with something, and then I try and develop it until you kind of have this sort of idea. So there's a couple dishes that don't change. One of them is our island. So it's actually like the shape of St. Barths, and it's like different textures of onion. So we have like caramelized onion, which is like this slowly cooked lyonnaise, or what do we call it? And like we cook it for like 2-3 hours until all the sugars sort of caramelize, and it's completely soft. Then you have like pickled onions on top. Then we put some bacon jam, crispy shallots. You got some chive oil around it, and then we take an onion consomme, which is made by using a very powerful vegetable stock and infusing it with like roasted onions for like 12 to 14 hours. So there's only like 5 things on the plate, but like everything sort of mellows together. And working on this island for like the last 6 years, you realize that it's tiny, nothing grows on it, and you kind of have to think on your feet. So like I've had to use ingredients like the onion, which is the island, and then the tree of life, which is the broccoli dish. So it's like different textures of broccoli. You got broccoli couscous with pumpkin seeds and sweet lemon, and artichoke soil as your soil, and then you got shiitake mushrooms as your birds, and like lemon gel as your sun. And it's a pretty visual tree of life, and it's completely vegan. It's completely from the earth. So those are like 2 of the main ones. We have a beef and beetroot dish where like I take this smoky beetroot ketchup, and it's like a little bit acidic, tastes like an incredible barbecue sauce. And then I have a red snapper tartare, which I've also sort of has been like one of my signatures. And it's like taking a red snapper and then we salt it slightly. And by salting it, it changes the whole texture to the fish and it becomes a little bit more sticky. And then we put it into a ring. It's got about 8 grams of caviar. You have like 9 dots of some sweet lemon. You have candied lemon on top, and then I pour a horseradish cream and a dill oil on the plate, and this kind of separates and makes this like white and very dark green sort of color. And then I finish it with the crispy fish scales, which is like, when I'm like, people look at me like, what are you serving? It's like, no, it's the fish scales. So it's a technique I learned in geranium, and it's literally like taking the scales, you wash them, and then you deep fry and dehydrate them, and like it's got very little flavor, but the little texture that it adds to the dish are really quite cool. But it's a progress, and I love what I do. I'm extremely passionate about cooking and sharing experiences with my guests. It's like these sort of stories when I go to the table and I'm pouring the onion consomme and telling them how we make it. It really elevates the experience.
I knew when I asked you that question, you're going to make me hungry again every time, Jared. It had to be done. That's me sacrificing for the audience right there. Like had to be done, but it looks delicious.
You do that again,
yeah. So I was looking at this, and I say this kind of in jest, but not really. But so the expansion to Montauk, are you bringing the island dish there? Do you have some other things up your sleeve? Is it not decided yet? Like, I'm not putting you on the hook here, but what can you tell me about that side of things?
I mean, it's kind of hard to bring an island dish.
That's what I thought. I was gonna
Like
assume that, but man,
yeah. And look, Montauk is a different beast. It's like this
yeah,
is a small, intimate, refined restaurant.
of course.
Montauk is going to be like a machine. It's like 184 seats, 500 covers a night. You know, like getting everyone in and like creating like this sort of like ambiance of like a theater kind of thing. So we will have the same quality of food.
Yep.
But maybe the amount of steps will be slightly less because we cannot have people waiting 45 minutes for an entree.
Yeah.
For a starter. So we will be bringing some of the dishes, but I will have to think about ways that I can refine them and make it easier to execute so that we can offer the same sort of experience.
Yeah, yeah. I just had to throw that out there because I was like, no, he's not gonna. I knew you weren't gonna be able to, but I was trying to get. I'm trying to get some teasers here, about what you have planned, and then for my own self interest, which this is me saying it, not Jared. I'm like, man, when's the LA version coming? I know you haven't even opened Montauk first. I understand, but if I get to cast a vote, and if my opinion matters, which it probably doesn't, Jared, then I'm voting on LA next. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, we'll see. The most important thing is to build these businesses strong. Ocean Club St. Barths first, Ocean Club Montauk second. Build teams, creates a love. I mean, for me, this form of hospitality that I'm trying to build and this brand is about appreciation, and appreciating our guests, but also appreciating our staff. Like, how do we build them? How do we get them to the next level? Because if we appreciate and praise our staff, they arrive at work feeling important and like that the job that they're doing matters and that we care about them and our work, then they'll surely pass it on to the guests and offer that to the guest experience. So who knows, maybe I'll be in your neck of the woods in a year or two. It's everything is open, and we'll take this brand where we can find beautiful locations and beautiful people. So for sure, I'll never say no.
All right, amazing. And I do actually want you to go a little bit further in that thought process of the staff and the culture that you're trying to create to obviously create that high level of service that you're doing at St. Barths, and really not even just service, but that experience that you're creating. Because obviously no one person does it by themselves. Like, what goes into that? Like, how do you pull that off?
Yeah, I mean, we are our Ocean Club St. Barths' success is not because of me; it's because of the people that are working inside the space. So for me, it's building leadership and like making people feel important, giving them the care. I mean, I give leadership training, and in the training, I'm talking about it doesn't matter what your title is right now. You can lead without a title. It's one of my books by Robin Sharma. He talks about being a leader without a title. It's a great book. And it's the same. It's like if you just come to work and you feel important and like we know what we want to achieve and this is our goal. We want to be the best restaurant in the Caribbean. And if we come to work acting like that and feeling important, like we are already that, then it makes it so much more enjoyable. We have a sense of pride around what we're doing. We have a sense of love about the food that we're serving and the experience that we're guests. And for me, the most important thing is to teach people to be present. Like when you're here, be with your guests, like interact with them, like that's where the tips are. It's like if you're just gonna go through the motions, be like, oh, what's your order, and then leave and then deliver the food, and that's not hospitality for me. That's that's some sort of cafe in the middle of nowhere where you're just doing it for the money. Whereas like here we're trying to create a culture where your job is important. Your interaction with the guests is important. And it's about the details, how you get greeted at the door, how you get sat at the table, what's your first course, the last course, what's the bread offering. And all these sort of details added together and all the people that you experience through your time here sort of makes it that much more.
Yeah, I think that's great. And being present or being there while you're there, like that's I mean, I feel like all business can learn so much from hospitality. Like I didn't get to like I just see it because on all different businesses, if we all did that, like what would the experience be like, right? The customer journey. It may be a different product, but it's still that experience people want.
Yeah, I mean it's not even in your business, in your day-to-day life. Like we're as humans, we're always looking to the next thing. We're like in a rush, like everyone's rushing from here to there and rush. It's like calm, be present, like enjoy the moment, like be here. Like when you're with your guests, be with your guests. Don't be with your boyfriend 2 hours later or at the pub or wherever. It's like, and then when you're at the pub, you want to be there. It's this incessant need to kind of, the next moment's going to be better. Like learn to enjoy the present moment, because that's where life is.
Did you always have that kind of philosophy, or is this part of the island? I don't want to say island lifestyle, but I know my family. So my dad's from Puerto Rico, so I come from a island lineage. Is that part of did the island kind of lifestyle kind of rub off on you as well, or has that always been something that you kind of strive for, your philosophy?
I had some difficult experiences in my life, and it's kind of. I wouldn't say it comes from the island. It's something from when I was younger and sort of did some self-help and development and sort of some research into it. And last year was when you sort of own a business, you can kind of go through some highs and ups and downs. And, I realized that instead of focusing on what I didn't want, I started to focus on what I wanted. And my shift in energy was just like incredible. And then I started to read more, and it's just a philosophy that I kind of bring, and I would like to install into my children and into my staff as well. It's just like we also, as I think as humans, we're always looking for a reason to be happy. It's like what's gonna make us happy, what's gonna like our happiness is when we achieve this, or when my business does this. But if we keep on placing our happiness and our emotional states on something at the end of something, it's always going to be at the end of something. Like you don't need permission to be happy now. Just enjoy the sort of, life is the journey. You must, and that's where I think it's about enjoying the journey and not waiting for the destination.
It's great. I think the great words and things for us to strive by. I love it. It's a great philosophy, and I think for me, it's interesting when you talk about being present. I always say my favorite part about what I do is these interviews, because I can't. It's almost my meditation at this point, Jarad, because everything else kind of goes out the window, and in this case, it's just me and you. So I love it. I love the connection. I love the meditation.
Yeah.
So I wanna, you don't have to drop names or anything like that, but come on, St. Barths, you got mega yachts behind you. Yachts, I feel like there's billionaires or celebrities going through those doors. Like what's that all about? Like, got to be some things happening over there.
Yeah, I mean, we're blessed. Like I had an event with Fedship, and Fedship is a mega yacht builder or super yacht builder, and one of the sort of highest in the world, and they're one of our exclusive partners, and we hosted an event on like the 30th of December. And during that peak sort of period, like the 26th of December, the 6th of January, like the sea is just filled with mega yachts and super yachts. It's just like,
wow,
it's ridiculous. So I think we had around like 15 to 20 billionaires in this space at one time. So like the net worth in the building was just like, mind-boggling, So, they say that show me your 5 best friends, and then their net worth is what you'll be in the next 5 years. Like, these are my 5 best friends, like in your other. No, it's great to be able to offer an experience to everyone, and to offer an experience to some people who work on the island, and people who are these sort of pioneers of industry and have reached the pinnacle of what they do. And it's brilliant to have that sort of diversity between the two.
Yeah, that's fun. It's amazing. I love it. I love the story, and that's one of the reasons why I was happy and excited to invite you on the show. That being said, Jarad, if somebody wants to learn more about what you're doing, follow your journey, like how do they get information? Like, what do they do to connect?
So we have our website is oceanclubstbarths.com. Otherwise, you can find us on Instagram, Ocean Club St. Barths. You can look at my Instagram. And then there's email addresses there. There's contact numbers there. But if you Google Ocean Club St. Barths, there's a few sort of things that sort of come up. And then we'd be happy to hear from you. I mean, we have an amazing space. We have an amazing location. We have some incredible staff members, and I feel like we're passionate about what we do and what we're trying to achieve. And we love to welcome all sorts of people and all sorts of walks of life to our beautiful space.
Yeah. Amazing. And for everybody watching this, just so you know, we'll put the links to that, to the website, all that other good stuff in the show notes so that you can just click on the link and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, guess what? This is your personalized invitation. Hit that subscribe button. We have many more mission-based individuals and great stories that we're bringing to you. We don't want you to miss anything. So definitely hit that subscribe button. And if you're a long-term listener, and if you haven't left us a review yet, come on, stop, leave that review. Get that done already. All right. You've been listening to us long enough, and we really do appreciate it. Jarad, again, really appreciate you coming on the show, man. Appreciate all you're doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate your time, man.